Welcome to another edition of the WWE Sit and Talk, also found on YouTube at WWE Sit and Talk. I am your host, Suji. I am here with Victor. Victor, hello.
How you doing?
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Hanging in there. How are you?
Technology is great, ain't it?
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah. Any who's a doozle. We had a probably one of the more progressively moving SmackDowns we've had in a while.
I agree. I agree.
Um, does it not feel like a 5 hour show? So I was,
It went by relatively quick this week.
yeah, it was weird. I thought I was watching Raw for a second. Um, Backlash is in the rearview mirror, and now we're looking forward to Saturday night's main event, NXT Battleground, and Money in the Bank.
Woo!
Good times. So we had our first qualifying match between a former Miss Money in the Bank, Alexa Bliss, against the youngest, greatest, most beautifulest former United States champion in Chelsea Green and Meechin. What did you think of this match?
I thought it was a pretty good match. Nice to see all three of these women get an opportunity to qualify for the Money in the Bank match. When I first saw that match was announced, I thought it could have gone either way with Alexa Bliss or Chelsea Green. But I'm glad that it went with Alexa Bliss. She deserves this match.
Yeah, I just hope she sticks around for longer than a month or and a half and then disappears. That would be nice. But yeah, right person won, wrong person took the pin, in my opinion. But yeah, Alexa Bliss qualifies for Money in the Bank. See what else of no you want to talk about that we had happen on SmackDown?
Are we just gonna skip over that intro segment that we had this weekend where we were introduced to the brand newly named J.C. Mateo
Yes, he is the
and
new.
more issues between Solo and Jacob.
That was probably one of Solo's best promos he's cut in a while.
I agree. He's like, you gotta say, I love you, Solo, like you mean it.
He's like, I love you, Solo. No, no, say it like I mean it. I love you, Solo.
Solo.
Have you acknowledged your tribal chief this morning?
Roman Reigns?
No, 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 your
Absolutely.
tribal chief, Solo. We didn't have a discussion.
Solo's never been my tribal chief.
How dare you?
I'm
Blasphemous.
sorry, but he can't call himself tribal chief anymore.
Call himself whatever he wants. He can believe whatever he wants.
Just
Just like
because
you.
he believes something doesn't necessarily make it true.
Just because you don't believe in something doesn't make it not true.
The facts are out there, man.
Well, you're looking at you think Chad Gable and Grande Americano are the same people, so there's that
They
too.
are. They 100% are.
Well, we're not here to disparage the great name of Chad Gable here. But what do you think is going to happen with Fatu and Solo and JC Mateo in the future?
I give it 3, maybe 4 weeks before Solo and JC turn on Jacob Fatu,
Oh wow, so
kicking
you're
him out
thinking
of the
soon.
bloodline. I mean, I could see Solo fighting Jacob for that belt. I want to say SummerSlam, possibly.
So you just have so then you will have Fatu just like lone wolfing it by himself.
Yeah, I can see him doing it. People are already cheering for him, and as if he's the good guy.
Or the babyface. We could say it now. Triple H says it. We could say it.
Yep, babyface.
Okay. Um. Yeah. I could. I. It depends on how long they want him to keep the title for. I feel like there's going to be some incident that's going to cause them to Fatu to be like, "Fuck this. I'm not. I'm not dealing with this." Speaking of the new bloodline, we had the tribal chief Solo Sokoa in a qualifier match for the Money in the Bank, and I'd also that was another triple threat match with Shinsuke, not Shinsuke Nakamura. That's next week's. Big Jim Uso and Ray Phoenix.
You know, I understand why Solo got this victory, but I I'm not content with Ray being the one who had to take the pin. Everyone knew Jimmy wasn't gonna win.
Well, I, I don't know about that.
Did you have
I,
Jimmy Uso qualifying over Solo and Penta? No, not Penta. Ray?
Ray. Well, okay. Well, looking at this though, what has Solo done in the past like 4 months that's even so remotely
Uh,
significant? After he did the thing with Roman on the Netflix show, what has he
Aside
done?
from aside from feuding with Braun, not nothing really.
And Ray Phoenix just got there. I mean, I could have seen Jimmy winning and with the intrigue of like, ooh, would he cash in on his own brother, or if he won it, would he cash in on Jay? Like that could have been interesting.
Yeah, that could have been interesting.
But I mean, I guess Solo is the same thing. I guess
Yeah,
I
I
think there was
mean, you
another.
expect it from Solo.
Yes, right winner, wrong person took the pen. Again. Ooh, speaking. Let's talk about something else that's I don't see anybody else talking about. Alexa
What's that?
Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Alexa seems very persistent on having Charlotte and her be friends. And Charlotte's just like, nah, I'm good. What do you think that's all about?
They do have a history with one another, considering that they used to be together in NXT. But if I was Alexa, I wouldn't be so quick to trust Charlotte because every partnership that Charlotte has had, she she's um kind of stabbed that other person in the back.
Stab is a little excessive. I mean, protected herself.
I mean, it's clear Charlotte Flair only cares about Charlotte Flair. That's hard to it's hard to be teamed up with a person who only cares about themselves.
But Alexa knows that and she still wants to team with Charlotte.
Yeah,
That's odd to me. I'm kind of curious to see what they're doing with that because I don't see anybody talking about it. It's just kind of like, oh,
it's there.
Charlotte and Alexa. What do you think about the Wyatt Six not showing up? Do you are you invested in the Wyatt Six anymore?
I was when they made their debut, But after they had that feud with the New Testament and lost, that lost some interest in the group. And now that the fact that they haven't been seen or heard from since, it's like it's kind of hard to show interest in something that WWE isn't even really showing interest in anymore.
And it's sad because it's like they didn't even give it a chance to do anything. It's like, okay, Uncle Howdy got hurt, and they're like, oh well, the group's dead. Why? I don't understand that. But
It really doesn't make much sense.
yeah, it doesn't. And speaking of Charlotte, she will also be in a Money in the Bank qualifier next week, triple threat match with herself, the current Women's United States Champion Zelina Vega, and the newly acquired SmackDown superstar Julia.
Oh, that one's gonna be a banger.
That's going to be a good match.
I 100% agree.
Who do you think wins?
I have Julia winning this match only because it seems like Charlotte Flair has other things going on right now. And Selena, she doesn't need this win. She's already the United States champion, and she could find herself in another feud at Money in the Bank solely by defending that title if need be.
I can see. I agree. I think Julia pins Charlotte. Not. I think Julia pins Zelina, and this will set up a Julia Zelina feud for the U.S. title.
Now that would be great.
Yeah, I agree. Um, we had LA Knight versus JC Mateo. What did you think of that match?
It was a nice 10, 15-minute match before the main event, I think. It was right before the main event, right?
Yeah, I think they were semi-main.
Yeah, yeah. It was a nice match. Nice to see what JC could do in the ring because this is the first time I've seen him perform in a match.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I seen him a little bit in AEW when AEW was I was watching it that like that. But yeah, he's really good, man. Um, let's see. Oh, we also had a pretty good match rematch. Aleister Black and him.
Yes, him, Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo lost by disqualification. Where's his feud going?
Yeah, I really don't want to say that I was rooting for Carmelo, but at the same time, a little part of me was rooting for Carmelo, and it's it's one of those hit and misses because in NXT, Carmelo Hayes was this big star. He was a former NXT champion, former North American champion, and he was taken like a big deal. Now he's on SmackDown, not so much.
Well, don't forget he's Mr. Andre the Giant 2025 Battle Royal winner, sir.
Yeah, that
Don't,
don't mean anything
how
nowadays.
dare you? How dare you say Andre the Giant doesn't mean anything? How dare you, sir?
No, I'm not saying Andre the Giant didn't mean anything. I meant winning that battle royal didn't mean anything.
Sir, there's some greats who've won that. Big Show, Cesaro, okay,
Big Show, Cesaro, both in rivaling company now.
Jay, okay. But
Okay,
I think Carmelo's probably going to be U.S. champion by the end of the year.
I sure hope so.
Um, see what else happened on this episode. We had more Jade and Naomi interactions.
Love that.
It looks like Jade is going to also be in some type of qualifier. If I was to guess, I would probably say it would be Jade, Naomi, maybe Naya.
I can see that happening, especially since they're already interacting with one another. They already have beef with each other.
Yeah, and well, I guess we'll have to. I'm assuming it's six people, right? Going to be in this
Yeah,
Money Bank. Okay. See what else? Anything else of interest to happen in this thing, this SmackDown, besides the main event? We had
mm,
Fraxium. Fraxium, they had
yep.
another.
They they beat who did they beat this week? Was it DIY? Yeah, it was DIY.
Yes, it was DIY. That
Last
was I
week
was
it was yeah, it was it was a good match, that's for sure.
to beat the Street Profits last week, which leads us to our title match next week. Then we had the main event. Tiffany Stratton defending her women's title against Queen of the Ring Nia Jax. And Nia got busted open. She
It was
kicked out with the
ugly.
prettiest moonsault. First one to do it.
Now to be fair, now to be fair, Tiffany also kicked out of that Annihilator.
I mean, we've seen people kick out of the Annihilator.
Have we
But
though?
yeah, we have. We've seen it before. Not a lot, but we've seen it. But this is probably one of my favorite Tiffany matches she's had in a while.
I agree. I'm just glad she's not feuding with Charlotte anymore.
Listen, what we're not gonna do is disrespect the Queen while I'm wearing the Queen shirt, sir. How dare you? Okay, it's not Charlotte's fault.
Nothing against the Queen, but they just didn't have any good chemistry with one another.
Oh, is that what we're calling it?
What chemistry?
Yeah, good. All right, well, that was basically SmackDown. We have four matches announced. We had a Drew McIntyre promo as well. Can't forget Big Drew. He had a promo hyping up
Yep,
his match with Damian Priest for a steel cage match at Saturday night's main event next week. See what else we got going on for that card. We got Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn.
absolutely.
We have John Cena versus R Truth. Is that for the title?
Non-title. It is non-title.
Non-title match. That's interesting. That's interesting. And is there another match I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul
Yep.
for the title. What match do you think they'll add? Because I'm Raw will probably add one more match.
I wouldn't be surprised if they added a women's match. Because right now it's all men. Jay versus Logan, Drew versus Damien, and then Cena versus True. They need another. They need some type of women's match at Saturday night's main event.
Hmm. So it's probably going to be on the Raw side.
If I had to take a guess, it'd probably be Becky versus Lyra again.
Maybe Bailey shows up on Raw, attacks Becky, and then set up Bailey versus Becky. Number one contender for the for Lyra's title, IC title, maybe.
Now that would be interesting. We still never have gotten answers as to why Bailey was so abruptly ridden off TV.
Yeah, I guess she was dealing with some injuries, or they didn't really have anything for her to do, or I don't. It's hard to tell. But with Money in the Bank fastly approaching, we know Alexa Bliss is on the women's side, and Solo Sokoa. Assuming there's going to be five, six total in each. Let's see if we can predict who's going to be in Money in the Bank, shall we?
Absolutely.
Let's start with the women. Um, Probably three Raw, three SmackDown. I'm going to say Rhea, Liv, for Rhea, Liv, huh? Go back to Raw. SmackDown, two more. We'll go with Julia. Um, Naya, and one more, and I'm gonna go. Fuck it, Roxanne Perez.
If I had to predict the women's side, it would have to be Alexa Bliss, Julia, Roxanne Perez. Oh, I want to say, oh, maybe possibly Rhea and Naomi, possibly.
I would love Naomi to be in it. That'd be great.
I don't think she's given enough credit for her heel role right now. I think she's doing great.
I agree. I would love her to win it. Honestly, if she was in, I'd love for her to win it.
God knows she deserves it.
Yeah, no shit. So you basically picked everybody I did except for Naomi. Okay. What about the men's? You go first this time.
For men, I would have to predict, let's see, Logan Paul,
Your guy.
Solo, not my guy, but okay. Uh, I want to say Penta, possibly. Let's see, Braun Breaker,
Okay, that's four.
Aleister Black, and let's see, my last one, I would have to predict Carmelo Hayes.
Him. Okay.
Him.
Uh, I'm gonna go solo, obviously. Next week on SmackDown, we have LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura, who I could have sworn was fired. And
I thought I heard those rumors too.
yeah, well, you know what, you know how rumors are. It's LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Shinsuke Nakamura next week in a qualifying match for the men. So I'm picking LA Knight solo. And then on the men, I agree with Logan Paul. Uh, let's see, Logan Paul, Finn Balor. Let's see, that's four. SmackDown. Let's go with. They should do the winner of Drew and Priest. Would be good. I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre.
So you think Drew beats Damian Priest back to back?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why shouldn't they?
I have Damian winning only because WWE loves to have um matches back to back to back.
The question is, where do they go from here? Like they're obviously
Yeah,
gonna be done
that's
with each
true.
other. So like if Drew loses, well, what does he do? Does he just go after the U.S. title and say fuck it, and Priest goes after the world title, the WWE title, or would you want Drew McIntyre to do?
I think if in this match, Damian needs to win this match solely because if Drew loses this match, he'll be okay. He always finds something to do, whether it's feuding with people for a title or without a title. I think if Damian were to lose this match, it it would heavily um it would affect his career in a negative light because he hasn't done much since losing the world title to Gunther. That happened what last summer.
Yeah. Well, see,
Hasn't
the
done
the
much since then.
the problem though with Priest is he screwed Drew at the Rumble, beat him at Chamber, screwed him at WrestleMania for the cashing in on him at WrestleMania. He screwed him in Scotland, technically with CM Punk. He had help. So it's like if you look at the math, like Drew is still owed. Priest
Yeah,
just came out ahead. I mean, I know Drew won that the Sin City match, and Priest technically beat up Drew at Backlash, but I think Drew really needs to win more than Priest.
yeah, that is true.
And especially, I think if you give Drew the give Drew the briefcase again and not have him cash in, you can do something with it. But my sixth person, I am going with Seth Rollins.
Interesting.
I'm going with Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is going to want a chance to win the briefcase, and he can pick which title he wants to take. We had an update on Kevin Owens.
Yep, Kevin Owens KO.
Um, said his next issues are still pretty complicated. He hasn't had surgery yet, so all those reports saying he'll be back in the middle of next year. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, middle of 2006. I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, especially since he hasn't had the surgery yet. I hope
Yeah.
everything goes well for him. But next week, man, we busy week, busy weekend of wrestling.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
We got NXT Battleground. We got Joe Hendry versus Trick Williams. We'll make those predictions next week if you want.
Absolutely.
Let's see. We got Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry for a TNA World Title.
Who'd ever thought we'd see a day where the TNA title would be defended on a WWE pay-per-view?
Yeah, don't shit. Um, see, we got Stephanie Vaquera versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Title. That ought to be pretty good. We're probably going Tony D'Angelo versus Stacks.
Yep.
Um, the ruler Obafemi defending. Who would have thought that would have been your battleground match?
Absolutely nobody, and I mean nobody, gave Miles Bourne even a sniff at the title.
Here he is. It's interesting that they did it, but I mean I'm down for it. Something different.
Yeah.
Um, Ricky Saints, I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be defending his title against Javon Evans.
No, I got him defending against Ethan Page again,
You think Ethan takes
especially
it this
after
time?
what happened this week. I can see Ethan winning 100%.
Okay, all right. We'll see where your picks are at here coming up. I see. Then we have AEW, Double or Nothing. I'm assuming, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's double or nothing.
What's going on there? I know you're the AEW fanatic. So what's going on
I
there?
don't know if I would call myself a fanatic.
Do you watch the
They
show
got,
every week?
I don't watch the show every week, but I see bits and pieces. I see the highlights.
Well, what from the highlights? What is going on for Double or Nothing that people should be interested in?
So they have the Owen Hart tournament finals. They got Will Ospreay versus Hangman Page for the men's side, and Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter on the women's side. Let's see. They have the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton defending against Goldust and Sammy Guevara.
Goldust.
Let's Dustin Rhodes, Goldust.
First of all, those are two different people, sir. Okay, it's Dustin
They're
Rhodes.
the same person.
He doesn't go by Goldust anymore, sir. It's Dustin Rhodes. You put some respect on the
Dustin
Rhodes
Rhodes.
name.
My
Put some
bad. My
respect on
bad.
the Rhodes name. Damn it. Okay,
They
what else we
they,
got?
they have let's see. They have FTR versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia, and the archery, um, Anarchy and archery match, where they have the the Young Bucks and Moxley's group, Moxley, Shafir, and I
Yuta?
want to say Yuta against Samoa Joe, Hobbs, um, Taz and Sung Hook, um, Shibata, yeah, Shibata and Swerve. and Kenny Omega.
Damn.
Yeah,
How many people's in this damn match?
I think it's 6 against 6, if I'm not mistaken.
We couldn't find anything else for you guys to do, so we're gonna shove you in one match.
They
Okay.
do it every year. That and Blood and Guts.
I like the blood and guts concept. That's cool, but this just feels like we're just throwing 12 people in a match just to get them on the card.
Yeah, it most
Who's
likely
Tony
will be
Storm?
the main event too, considering Moxley is the world champion. So,
Bucks are in it. What's Tony Storm doing?
oh, Tony Storm, she's fighting against Marina Shafir. No,
Oh, Tony.
not Marina. Mina.
Okay. You gonna buy it?
Most likely not, considering AEW pay-per-views are like overly priced, but it's like
Well,
$60 per pay-per-view. Like,
yeah. Well, at least you're not. At least you're not doing the points this week. Well, I think that is all we have. I know Monday and Right and Raw we're probably gonna have two qualifying matches. Probably won't find that out till Monday. Usually how that goes. But Victor, thank you for having us on today, sir.
of course,
We had some technical issues, but we got it. We power through.
we
um,
did it.
Rick Rick might be joining us next week.
Slick Rick or Crazy
Irishman,
Irishman Rick.
Irishman Rick.
All right.
So we'll sit down. We'll talk some Saturday night predictions and battleground and your favorite AE dub. But that is all
Let's
for
do it.
WWE Sit and Talk. Also found on YouTube. WWE Sit and Talk. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. And we will be back better than ever. And as always, El Grande Americano is not at
Ooh.
Gable.